Well, hi there. Welcome to MJC Maryland Racing. I am your host, Callie Francois, alongside Keith Fusel, our morning line odds maker. Keith, how was your week?
Good week, good week.
Good week.
Good to be back here at lovely Laurel Park. Sunny skies. We've got some warm temperatures and got some carryovers today. I'm looking forward to it. Had a good weekend last weekend. Frank J. DeFrancis Memorial Dash, really big effort from Barron. We had some prices on Sunday, so
nice
leading
prices.
into a good couple days of racing here at Laurel Park this Friday and Saturday.
Definitely, including today some nice eight races that we're going to cover for you. But first, let's take a look at the track that we have going on today. The track is fast, and the turf is firm, 86 degrees. There's a nice breeze going on. It wasn't particularly super humid or hot. I remember everybody leading up to this week, it was pretty humid this week, but everybody this morning was very, very happy with the weather. We got a little bit of a break in that, so having a good race day is going to add up to that. Let's kick in to race number one, this maiden claiming 45, 5.5 on the turf. And Keith, you see the number, you see it as the 2 on top, Gal's Gal for Tim Keefe and Gavin Gomez on top, second time out this time.
Yeah, this is a race where, you see some of these fillies, they're taking turns beating each other. Maybe the number's a little inflated on the 4 In Vain. Queen Sheba, a very good debut for Charlie DeMario last time out. I just got to go for some values in here. So I'm kind of throwing something against the wall, hoping it sticks. Here's a video of Queen Sheba and also In Vain, that race on July 3rd. Queen Sheba at a huge, huge price that day, off a little bit slowly. You see that here, kind of drifted in, a step slow out of the break in that big field, and just was able to get position. Ran big. In Vain, that was the second race off the layoff, got back to showing the customary speed that she's shown in the past. Gulfstream, some of those races down at Gulfstream, but all in all, big effort from both of them. Will they bring it back? This was a knockdown, drag-out kind of a final quarter of a mile, Callie, here. In Vain got the jump position. Queen Sheba got it after a little bit of early adversity, and these two go at it. And unfortunately, Utterly Courageous is going to be the beneficiary of this duel that started at the top of the stretch. You see, good ride here. Utterly Courageous down inside was able to work a trip outward to get up, but both ran very hard, very big. Will they be able to bring it back today? Both at shorter prices. I think In Vain obviously is going to be a little bit shorter Trombetta factor than Queen Sheba, but I go for a price. Go for the 2.
Go for the 2.
Gal's Gal. This one is a half to Rocky Policy. Stakes type sprinter on the turf. Be Determined has run well going longer. There's plenty of speed in here. I thought this filly ran sneaky good. Yeah, ran 8th. Only beaten a couple lengths on a good surface. Gets a firmer ground today. And she may run over the top of these late at a big, big price here for Tim Keefe.
And even then, just putting it wouldn't be a bad idea to put this filly underneath if you're not going to put her on top. Although, again, not a strong barn stab for winning second start, but some numbers are starting to pump in with second and third with that second start as of late. So I can totally understand Gal's Gal as a little bit of a nice pricey pick there in this field. This is a good field to get a nice pricey pick from. I also go with Emerald Lace, just going with that outside speed factor with Marquez on top. And also, the biggest thing is that this filly was fractious in the gate, got a little bit nervous in the gate. She's going to be the last one to load. She's not going to have enough time to think to be worried about anything before those gates open to get in there. So that's what I account with.
Okay, she ran lights out. Lights out, another one at 44 to 1. So you had Emerald Lace in debut, 44, Queen Sheba at 40. Outfits that don't win a slew of races. Big efforts. Can they bring them back? That's just my major concern. Princess Palmer, an excuse. 2 races back, a little steady in that race behind Emerald Lace. Reunited, with Toledo, another user at a price. I'm going for some. I would key the 2 and 11, top and bottom and exactus here, with like 4 or 5 horses. I'm going to get close to double digits on both of these horses. I should. So that's my angle.
I love it.
From a betting perspective.
You heard it
race
here
1.
first. Follow the man's words, especially in these turf fields with these nice prices coming up. But let's kick on to race number 2, claiming 10. Before we get on to that, let's just take some more advice from the main man, Keith, with his early pick 4 that he's got coming in. You single look, check out that single right away in race number 2.
And this is not a type that I usually single. If you can go too deep, I would maybe throw Targe or Lightfoot Miss in there. You can still make it affordable. Start with a bang, jumping a condition, right? Only won one. You know, going against horses that have won more races than her, but the last race really kind of sticks out. Can she pair it up? I go 3 deep in race number 3 with the 4, 7, and 10. Maybe Make Way escapes at a little bit of a value. Race 4, I cut it down to the 2 and the 7. Brother Conway, we've got a stat for that one coming up. And race 5, a little spread there. 2, 6, 10, 13. They're going to be going fast early.
Yep.
And somebody kind of benefit late. There's your ticket, $12. As I said, in race 2, you know, if you can add 2 horses, it still doesn't make it crazy expensive. Go right ahead. That would be Targe and a Lightfoot Miss.
Definitely, and I do like that spread in race number 5. That's a very, very nice competitive field there, but we will kick into that a little bit. But first, let's pick in to race number 2, where let's start off with your single, Keith. Start with a bang that you have on top. Again, stepping up in class, Rudy Sanchez-Solomon, but this is where the type of drop-down fits in relation to the rest of the field.
Yeah.
Had a lot to make up down on the backside. Last out, kind of dwelt it in the gate a little bit. Not sure if he still maybe had a hand on, looking further at that break ahead. Just had a lot of chasing to do after Drywell. Made a wonderful effort last time out.
Numbers on the dirt have kind of gone up. Even the turf effort was not too bad since the claim. Now, maybe they were just struggling to find a race, but you draw into this field. 70 buyer, even if the horse drops 10 points in the buyer category, she should be right there.
Absolutely.
Although she's jumping up in a condition. So start with a bang, doesn't have the speed of Targe. I think we'll be able to settle, make a steady progression into it, and edge by late. Should probably go to another barn. I mean, because if you're looking playing the conditions as a trainer, this thing's kind of sticking out, almost looks too good. So maybe you play a little safe. Targe is the lone speed. You got her to catch. Lightfoot Miss had a little bit more adversity than maybe we might have had here in its last race at Delaware. Kind of pinched between horses early. Made a couple different runs in that race. Finished up well. I think fits well here for Dale. 5-2-3.
Going at that 7 furlongs, definitely. And Dale doing well enough. Hitting at that 17% as of lately. A barn trend from that Delaware to Laurel this summer as of late. So that certainly helps. Race number 3, that Claiming 16, 8 a mile here on the turf. But first, that's when the Rainbow Pick 6 starts. And we have a nice carryover from last weekend of that Pick 6. $7,007 in that carryover pick 6. Starts in race 3. Let's kick on to a little bit of a pricey ticket that I have for today to get that going. So I'd start off with a single, which is my best bet on the engine, going for that right away. Like in your fashion, just kicking it off right away. Race number 4, I do go wide in that race. I feel Brother Conway does have a little bit of an edge, but I feel like there are a couple of horses that could make some interesting plays in there, especially Icy Minister at a price. Never Satisfied. A lukewarm might go off as a lukewarm favorite in there. Race number 5, that's where I spread wide as well. I think that there's plenty of horses. I've got the 2 speed horses in the Boats of Rock in the number 6 and in the number 12, Gunslinger. Those are your 2 speed horses, and then some horses possibly taking advantage of a possible nice little match going up there. Maybe if those 2 burn up the pace a little bit. Race number 6, I go 3 deep in there. I think Asking for a Baskin is I go with Big Tall Dog. That's the most obvious, but then Raise the Spites, and then Asking for a Baskin, just to see if Rudy Sanchez-Solomon is going to play a fast one on this and get underneath on one. Race number 7, I go with the 2 and the 10, Epic Idea, which is the obvious horse to go for, and then just as an intrigue, Pumpy Monkey Baby for Sarah Nagel, Javian Toledo. Whenever they team up really well. A nice performance last time out at Delaware, and in the nightcap that we have, I go 3 deep in that. I go with Rockefellers, who is your obvious one, even money morning line favorite right now. Great Dansky coming off of a layoff. I think that horse will show up a little bit for DePaz, and then Camp Pendleton, just because I'm on a Rudy Sanchez-Solomon kick, clearly. So that's how, again, a bit of a pricey ticket. You can shave it down, but I saw that there's a couple of different options. Maybe in those earlier races, maybe in race 4, you could shave it down a little bit, but let's kick on to race 3, where we go with Claiming 16, a mile here on the turf. But we've got a video right away on both of, on my top selection and the horse you have underneath, which is Irwan, and on the engine. and this is their last time out on the engine, making a nice little move. Had a nice, really the biggest question with On the Engine is, will the cutback in distance make a difference, and did that extra 16th make up for last time? So I think that helps out On the Engine a little bit. Karamanos maybe positioning, getting this horse a little nice little position in that first 16th.
You see Erewhon in the lighter blue cap running second right there. You know, continue on, giving effort, a little steady when in close late. On the Engine, out finished, you know, between horses, but moving outside to inside, I think that'll boost that horse's chances, maybe give him an extra length and a half advantage if he's able to save ground, relax, a little covered up trip. I think he'll have a punch at the mile. The barn is certainly doing well and winning on the turf. You've got to use that one. I think you've got to use Erewhon. There's not a slow speed. I think this one will carry a long way. Ran pretty good in that turf try 2 races back. And Make Way's my stranger horse. All or nothing type, I would say here for Tony Farrier. Drops reported first time gelding, has never been on the turf, but the mother ran well on the turf. One debut, ran a couple big races out in California on the turf. This horse is a half to an 11-time turf winner by the name of Sinatra. So you've got X-Man, you've got first time gelding. Not a slew of speed. I would like to see Make Way up front.
And just looking at that, I took a look at that Keeneland run when McPeak likes to stretch these horses out as quick as he can. So got boxed in, had a nice finish, Jewel on the front side, just couldn't beat Nepotism, who was super strong. Continued to be super strong afterwards in those starter 50s at Churchill Downs. So of course, then Farrier gets the horse, and he's going to try this horse at Charlestown no matter what. So I think we're back on a distance and a type of track that this horse is definitely going to appreciate. Kind of not exactly scratching that one last time out, but definitely can see why Make Way you have on top. Race number 4 is that Claiming 25, 7 furlongs on the dirt, and we have a late 5 carryover that we want to highlight really quick. 10,185 in that late pick 5 that starts here in race number 4. Take a bit of a piece of that just in this race number 4. But let's carry. Sorry, Keith, did you have something that you wanted to add about that? Okay, great.
No, I'm good. I'm just following along. I'm here for the ride. That's it. So.
Okay, so let's start on you do have Brother Conway on top, who we have a nice stat on Brother Conway coming into this event with Kenny Cox and Yana Ville on top.
Kenny Cox, I tell you what, he's been on quite a roll. Not a huge barn, right? But these horses are all running lights out. Pay attention. When these trainers get hot, you got to ride the wave, ride them till they buck you. Last 3 years on the dirt, 3 for 11, 27%, 6 for 11 in the money with this kind of jump, 50% jumping. Claiming price, ROI, look at that 493. We've got a video of Brother Conway's last race. This is for $16,000, 2 in life. Thought this horse ran pretty well. There's Muggsy Malone, Dream Happy on the lead. Robbie Bell's in the Dream Happy. Take note, I had this horse morning line favorite for 25 last week, was scratched. So Brother Conway chased that one, dropped to the inside, which was the worst part of the racetrack that day. Slight outside lean. Railed, that was not the greatest spot to be. I like the way this horse just keeps trying and trying and trying. They scratched out of the turf. They found a good spot here at 7/8 of a mile. Positional speed, some stamina, good effort to the wire. I think this horse will be able to carry it and be around a long way, along with Damon's horse, Never Satisfied. This is going to be first-time gelding on the dirt, along with first-time blinkers. Good try with trouble on the turf. Back numbers on the dirt. I think these two are forward a long way.
Exactly. If you go back to that back on the turf effort back at Gulfstream Park, going 6 during the championship meeting, that starter optional makes a bit of a pace play in there, and I think that is where a nice spot that Brother Conway could just sit right off of Never Satisfied and go on with it, carry on with it. I like that. I go in with Howard's Rock. I was a little intrigued. I just thought that was interesting that they ran this horse for the 7 furlongs when they could have just shipped him up to Monmouth. So they're keeping him down here for a reason. I'm just seeing a bit of a different performance once they claim that horse. It's a first time Claudio Gonzalez claim. I feel like you have to keep it play safe, have to keep it underneath. I like it at 8-1, definitely. But
yes,
yeah,
I agree. And this was a tough horse for me to line. He's got one good race on the slop. Right, that big effort. The other one, the number 43, okay. You're right. This is the first time, Claudia. It's dangerous. He's quick. He can carry it a long way. Tab the tote. If he's a little chilly, then I worry about him. But if he's down there 3-1 a long time, 7-2, pay attention. He will be in my exactas, no doubt, underneath. with the 2 and the 7.
With the 7.
Good pickup though, Kelly. Yep.
Yeah, but Kenny Cox is coming in. Like you said, ride that wave when these trainers are coming in with a couple of these prices. And and especially with Muggsy Malone, Dream Happy was a vet scratch and then entered for the 40 9-winners of 3. So that's a little bit, not quite a telltale, but it's a little bit encouraging as well. Before we kick into race number 5, we've got a commercial for you. We'll be right back.
Okay.
We're ready for the start. They're off.
Here we back are for race number 5, a nice starter optional 20 that I love, a mile on the turf, but wanted to give you a quick update. Tomorrow, our post time starts at 1:50. It was moved to 1:50 just due to the heat that we have coming in. So just a kudos to all of our management and horsemen just keeping an eye out for these athletes, both equine and human, and just trying to keep everybody safe and happy in this little bit of upcoming heat. But let's get back to race number 5, where you have your value play with Mo Keefe. Let's dig into that one right away because I have that.
Keefe, my buddy. That's what they call me, Keefe with 2 F's sometimes. But no, Mo Keefe I like. I think, you know, Boats Are Rockin' is wicked fast early. He loves the turf. He's a nice turf horse, but I think he's going to get a little pressure, even have to work hard again. Big try off the bench. Mo Keefe turning back in distance. He ran well fresh off the layoff from October to April. Comes back, goes down to Great Meadows, or Grand Meadows. I think it's Great Meadows. And Delaware, a mile and 3/8. No flow, no flow, no flow.
Right.
They're going to be winging it out front. Mo Keefe fits at this level, save ground, and unleash the fury late.
Love it. Yeah, that's exactly why I have this horse picked underneath. I go with the 13. The other one that's possibly coming off, that's going to be coming off of that pace, but has a little bit of that outside comfortable spot. We'll have again, both your top selection and my top selection are cutting back, are benefiting from coming back in distance. I think Semi Sunset just visually bounced a little bit, not quite so much the numbers, but I think this horse just visually got a little bit tired at the end, just got a little bit outmaneuvered, just finished up a little bit. But then we have, let's kick into our speedsters, where I go with Gunslinger underneath. This horse is loving being back in Mark Beecher's barn ever since the 2022 debut, has just been putting out some great performances. But what I like about Gunslinger as opposed to the number 6 is that this horse isn't necessarily, this horse can handle challenge early. He can he can handle a little bit of a pace tool early. He has that outside post advantage.
Yeah, he's going to need to handle it. Boats Are Rockets fast. I mean, and he really surprised me. He went out there 23:45, opening up down the backside. I'm just waiting. Okay, when's he going to back up?
Right.
When's he going to back up? He never backed up, man. He hit another gear at the 3/16, dug in and repelled those challenges through the stretch. Good little move here. Was able to be protected in that race off the break, because of the break, the length of the break and the tag. So, yeah, he's going to be tough right back. Anything close to it. Keefe, I just think he's going to fire today. I think he's going to bring that run that he's accustomed to showing.
I think that cut back in distance is certainly a huge help for Mo Keefe. So I do like, I had the horse underneath, but I do like that you went with him as your value play of the day. Race number 6 is our allowance. 6 furlongs on the dirt, and we both land on the number 2, which we thought Big Tall Dog, which we do have a video on for Kieran McGee. Jaime Rodriguez on top today, coming off of the turf. So I love that Kieran McGee lately is 33%, a barn trend from turf to dirt, but this horse is just going to be taking, with recent dirt numbers, just going to be taking a commanding charge.
Yeah, he's been very consistent. Kieran's done a great job. The whole gang there, the whole team, Kelly, everybody. This guy has maintained form. He didn't run awful on the turf, and now he comes back turf to dirt. That's a good percentage for this barn. Worked out a trip. 7 on the Rocks just got a great trip as well. Worked through the seam. We thought he had the job done here at the 16th pole. Just nipped late, but a very gritty effort. Got Rodriguez today. I think he'll work out another trip. There's some speed in this race. The flow's going to be good. It's sizzling time. Quick. He's orientate, raises spikes. These guys, Rad Paisley even, is sneaky here for Kieran, first time gelding. This horse has always flashed a little talent. I'll use the 4 underneath in my exact, as I would hate to miss a Kieran exacta. But that's certainly possible in this 6th race. Magic Mule. I keep chasing him. His
Right.
races are there. It's just the last little bit. He's got to have everything kind of break perfectly, but he'll bring that finish. Numbers going the right way. I think a
Right.
mid-70 wins it. He holds anywhere close to form. He's going to be hard to leave out of the exactas and trifectas.
It's going to be, I wanted to put him up a little bit further, but I feel like the numbers are coming up, but everything kind of just needs to work out for him. And this might be, you just never know what race is going to work out for him, so I'm just kind of doing a little bit of a wait back and see as far as on my picks, but I definitely wouldn't leave this horse off of any of your tickets or horizontal picks at all. Magic Mule, super consistent horse. We just have a couple of them that are a bit interesting, which I have the number 6 asking for a Baskin. Just that transfer over from the 6. They tried an experiment on the turf. It didn't work out. We're back with this preferred distance, and also this horse has a bit of a pattern. He'll run a great race, then he won't. He will, and then he won't. So we're coming back on a potential upswing for asking for a Baskin, which is why I just put in a shot with him in my exacta at 8-1. Why not?
It's beating the right kind. I mean, Day the Music died in that optional back in May. I know that was an off track, but he rode the wave there a little bit, right?
Yeah.
But Day the Music died. He's won a lot of races, been competitive in the allowance rakes. Yeah, he had a great setup June 24th. The two horses just went out and just killed each other on the front end.
Right.
And he benefited, was out wide, was able to roll past. But he gets another situation today to kind of settle off the speed, because I think it's going to be contested and make a run into it.
Correct. So just taking a couple of shots of prices here. Race number 7, that allowance optional claiming for 45.5 on the turf. We've got a video on both this is your best bet of the day, and then my top selection as well. Epic Idea for Mike Merriman. And Carlos Lopez on top, which I think is super curious of getting this horse. Carlos recently has been able to get a nice performance if you go 3 back in the early June, being able to make a nice run of it at the end.
Yeah, Mike Merriman, obviously, he's doing okay with these sprinters on the turf. Whispering Kitten came back to win. Big effort here, but Epic Idea, when she's close to right, can really bring a strong run at the 5.5 furlong distance. She's very adept over this turf course. This field, I think, lacks a little bit compared to what she's been facing lately.
Right.
Shorter field, she'll get positioned by the turn. I think her run is going to be tough to deny the last 1/8 of a mile, 3/16 of a mile.
Yeah, definitely. So, and then just for some prices underneath, because we obviously see this a little bit similarly, I just put in Puppy Monkey Baby with Sarah Nagel. Toledo coming off of that nice performance at Delaware. Let's see how. And Sarah is barn trend. 6% second after the layoff. That's the only thing that I have going against. But those two are 25% when they team up together on the turf. But like I said, the barn could be better second after the layoff. But as an individual, this horse is okay second after the layoff. And I'm also looking at when she broke her maiden. Excuse me, he or she when she broke her maiden. I had to double check on that. When she broke her maiden back at Tampa on an off a turf event, and then she went in the state bred at Colonial. She fired after that. So that's my angle that I'm going with Puppy Monkey Baby.
Yeah, I wish Olive Cat would have run a little bit better out of that race at Delaware when she shipped here the other day.
Right.
She did not, but she keys up against Clayton's Candy, who came back to win 2 other than. These two look like they're going to bring the strongest punch. Foggy Dreams up price. Cavalier Cupid, again, the other Sarah Nagel horse, disappointed against Whispering Kitten, was bet down. You're going to get better value today. Don't just, I would just give that one a little bit of a pass. Don't get beat by this horse in your exactas.
Wait, were you referring to Cavalier Cupid, right?
Cavalier Cupid, yeah. That last race, getting bet down like that. Yep.
Barn trend, as of lately, first after the layoff, 50% in the money. Last 28, first after layoff, 7 wins, 6 seconds, 1/3.
Okay.
That's pretty much 50% in the money.
Pretty
so
good.
There we go. There's a nice barn trend. Let's kick into our nightcap of the day, a starter allowance, 7 furlongs on the turf. We both land on the number 6 Rockefellers. We've got a nice video on Rockefellers with Sergio Padrenas. Caramano's back, teaming up again and again. Just a wonderful overall consistent horse in this field.
Yeah, he got the outer position there on the 24th. We talked about it. Maybe a little bit better footing than the Wolfman. He goes pretty good early. And they weren't blazing. These two had that pace advantage over the rest of the group, and they had a little breather, even though they were battling around the turn, and just kicked kind of away here late. Big effort. Rockefeller, 7/8 of a mile. He's 0 for 6, but 2 for 6 in the money. I'm not terribly concerned. This guy is a fighter. He clearly has the early pace advantage. He can get the distance with a clean break. I think he's to the front and gone against this group. This will be like I say, a nurse and release operation on the front end.
Right. I like that you have the Great Dansky underneath. I was actually tempted to put this horse a little bit further. I may have made a typo, but I dropped the horse specifically for a purpose. Needed to give the break. We had avoided vet claim, so gave the ample time off. Back with a nice work. You have DePaz, who is 21% with a barn trend first after the layoff, so that fits in as well. Just a couple of nice horses underneath. You have Albertano with Rudy Sanchez-Solomon, Yomar Ortiz getting a good run, cutting back in distance, so that's a bit interesting. And then Camp Pendleton again coming out of the same barn with Charlie on top this time.
Yep, similar styles. Albertano, Camp Pendleton. Camp Pendleton, I think, has a little bit more early speed, so maybe Albertano picks up those chasers, you know, and rolls in a little bit late. But we shall see. The race is, you know, like I said, with a clean break, the race goes through Rockefellers.
Right, exactly. So that wraps up our Friday racing for today, but let's kick into lightning round. We've got a couple of stuff for you. Let's go ahead and kick in. Toledo making a big jump last weekend with a couple of these stakes. A couple of these. He had a couple of a 2-day, 3 days. He had a really great weekend last time. And Horacio Caramanos tried his best. Horacio Caramanos had a wonderful weekend last weekend out trying to chase Toledo, but Toledo has just been just taking them away the entire way. Giannovello holding strong, losing his apprenticeship. I like to see that. We've got Jaron Barbosa, your leading apprentice, coming by with William Humphrey making a little bit of steam behind that. So a couple of nice jocks that we have here in our top 5 this week for the jockey standings.
Yeah, Toledo, Caramanos riding well. Caramanos, he had like a 3-win day, right, last weekend, I believe.
He had a 3-win Saturday and then a 2-win on Sunday as well. And then we have Claudio Gonzalez. The trainer standing is starting to stretch out a little bit. Claudio Gonzalez just, again, squeezing, just kind of inching a little bit forward. A couple of easier wins, dropping them in a nice spot last time out. But Rudy, I love how Dale and Rudy are just right trailing behind him, and Mike Trombetta and Damon Deal DeVigo not far behind. So I can't wait to see how that whole trainer standing is going to play out until we hit August.
Damon on the board, right there. 8 wins, 4 back. Doesn't maybe quite have all the bullets as some of these guys have. Same thing with Trombetta. But really good trainers race. Claudio going to try to hang on.
Exactly, trying to hang on. But I wanted to highlight a first-time winner for a trainer last week, and we didn't quite get there. That was on a Saturday, I believe, for Stevica Jurek. He won his first time out with a first time out, but they bought this horse at Keeneland. They had this horse for a while, so he's had some time with it. Was training out in Virginia, put in a couple of nice works at Pimlico just prior to that first time out, and just a hard work. Just from what I hear, I have never met him, but from what I hear, just a very nice, very hard-working gentleman. He last rode consistently, seriously in 2015. But again, if you go to laurelpark.com, /news, that whole highlight reel of that Philip wrote for us is out there on the newsreel on the website at laurelpark.com. And then we go to another bit of news where Mike Garrity, who is the little bit of family ties with Tim and Kevin Garrity, who work in production and are also our clockers, but he has a piece. NYRA commissioned him to put in the artwork for the program for the Saratoga meet today. So right now in front of us, we just have a piece from 2009 with Rachel Alexandra winning at Pimlico. But if you happen to pick up a program up at Saratoga, the artwork on the front of that is our local Marylander, Mike Garrity. Very, very passionate about his artwork.
Very good. And I know sometimes, Preakness Week and stuff, we've seen some of the stuff on display, right?
He does.
For sale.
He brings in his beautiful art for display on sale at Preakness. But if you go onto his website as well, he has commissioned pieces that you can pick up from his website. But let's kick into your best bet and value play. Let's start with your best bet of Epic Idea in race number 5, I believe.
Race number 7.
Race number 7. There we go.
Number 10. Epic Idea for Mike Merriman to sit back, watch the speed, and come rolling late. Not going to get him much of a price here. Maybe can we get 8 to 5, 9 to 5? We shall see. Some money's going to go to Puppy Monkey Baby and the value play. Our boy, one of our favorites.
Yep.
Mokeef.
Mokeef.
Yes, race 5, also number 10. Maybe we can have the 10 as a lucky number today. Yeah, that was Suzanne Satenius. We talked about Mokeef in the past. He owes us no money. He's our friend. Hopefully he's a winner today. Mokeef in the back of the pack.
Well, let's see if Mokeef can get Keith Fusel a little bit of money out of value play of the day. But let's wait in a couple of seconds for Dave Rodman with changes and scratches.
All righty. Good luck, everybody.